How do you know if you're making bad decisions off of the wrong data? That's what I want to talk to you about in this video. I have been in the digital marketing space for over 20 years, and I have mentored and coached and consulted and audited thousands and thousands of high-ticket coaches, business owners, consultants. And one of the things that I can tell you is more often than not, most of these don't know how to attribute properly in their business, meaning they don't know how to track properly. They don't know how to assign revenue. They don't know how to identify what it is that's truly driving the growth of their business. And that's what I want to talk to you about in this video. I'm gonna bring you over to my laptop because I'm going to give you an example here. I'm gonna give you a little pop quiz. Okay. In this scenario, we've got someone who they come in, they opt in from an ad, they go through a lead magnet. Let's just say they fill out a quiz. They opt into that quiz and they come into your CRM and they get an SMS. They get a text message from the CRM's nurture system, automatic text message. And what I teach my clients to do, obviously, is to set up a auto reply or auto question. So essentially what happens is they come in, the system sends, delivers the lead magnet, whatever it is. In this sense, it might be a quiz result. Then we follow up with a question like 10 seconds later. By the way, we ask a question. The whole point is to elicit a response so that our setters can then engage with that person. And so let's say that person responds. And now the setter is now having an SMS conversation, and they have this conversation, let's say over a few hours, maybe even over a couple of days. And then eventually that person books a call. That's the ultimate end goal, right? That's what everybody wants. Now, based on what you're seeing here, how would you attribute this book call? Now, most people would say, well, that's a book call from organic SMS, right? And that's the problem. No, it's not. It's all of this. See, that lead would not have ended up in that automation without the ad. This is an ad book call. The process that it took to get there is the nurture. What's happening in the middle here, that's not the lead generation, that's the nurture. But lead generation and nurture work together to get the end result, which in this case, obviously, is the book call. So this is the thing that I want you to take away from this. When you are looking at attribution, you have to make sure that you're making the right decisions, because I've worked with a lot of people who would look at this and they say, well, gosh, Ben, I don't know why we're running ads. We have, most of our settings are coming from SMS and it's coming from our setters. The setters are the ones that are getting the calls. The ads aren't doing anything. If you take ads out of this equation, what happens here? There is no lead. The lead never enters the funnel. So that's what you have to understand. When you look at this funnel process, and I'll draw it this way, okay? The funnel looks like this for a reason, right? So up here is the top, and then we're funneling people down. So our leads are entering our system here. And then what we're doing is we're touch points. We've got all these different things that are taking place to drive them through to that call, which hopefully leads to the sale. That's a typical call funnel. But the secret is all the stuff that happens in the middle. That's what ultimately helps push us to that. Now, there's going to be some times where people will go and they'll just go straight from the quiz to booking a call. Sure, that's what we call a self-booking. That's great too. But you can't just say, well, if we don't get self-bookings, then it's not a successful funnel. That doesn't make any sense. Right? Yes, there's going to have to be work that is done by the team, by the reactivation strategies, the nurture process, all the stuff that happens in the middle of this funnel. These things take time. They take testing. They take adjustments. It's just, this is the state of the high ticket industry now. And if you don't want to do these things, if you want to go back, of course, we'd all love to go back where people would just opt in, take the quiz, book their call, sign up the next day, right? If that's what you're after, you're in for a really difficult ride in the high ticket space right now. I've done, and I'll link to it in this video, another training on this trust recession that we're in. And what's happening is there's so many different offers that are out there. There's so many people out there who offer the same things that you do. And I know yours is unique. Nobody does it like you, but the consumer doesn't see that. They don't know that. You can shout it from the rooftops, but they don't care. It looks the same. You're saying all the same things. You guys are all messaging people the same way. You're using the same conversations in your follow-ups. You're using the same lead magnets. You're all saying the same thing. So of course they think it's the same. What this leads to is this commoditization. Everyone looks at you like a commodity. And when you become a commodity, you have to compete on price and features and all these different things. And the end result of this is really, really frustrating for most high-ticket business owners, because because they're thinking, well, it's got to be the ads, it's got to be the marketing. So I'll try this marketing agency and I'll go to this marketing agency and I'll go to this marketing agency, and they just bounce from thing to thing to thing. And I'll try AI, and they just trying all these tools, when in reality, all they need to do is they need to dig in a little bit more, work a little bit harder, and focus on the right things, which is driving the ultimate activity. Doesn't matter if it's self-booked, doesn't matter if you have to engage with that person with a conversation, you have to reactivate them with webinars, you have to run retargeting ads to VSLs, and even more retargeting ads if you have to run engagement campaigns to boost your posts to get people to engage. You have to do all of these things in order to keep people moving through your ecosystem. And that is the ultimate secret. So hopefully this is useful to you. Let me know down below if you're running into these things, what you're doing to deal with it. I'd love to hear from you.